So in grade 10, you already have taught for 2 years. How was the overall experience doing this?
It was like I thought I gained a new knowledge. It's like
Mm-hmm.
I now I'm ready to communicate with a bunch of peoples. I know how to catch their attentions.
Mm-hmm.
I know how to teach in future also. I
Mm-hmm.
started to understand what are the problems faced by my teacher.
Okay.
So that was so exciting and
Mm-hmm.
knowledgeable for me.
Do you feel now that teaching is like a easier or a difficult job? And
It's easy when you understand your students, and
okay.
it's tough when you don't understand them.
I feel a little more excited to have you again. And yesterday when we were talking about your experience of being at Involve and teaching other students, and when you shared your experience of going to the teachers themselves to understand whether your students are actually learning, that was very empowering for me, I would say, because a student, you were in eighth grade, right, at that point of time? So in eighth grader, like I remember when I was in eighth grade, I didn't even know what I was doing, and you were there thinking about whether your students are learning or not, and going to teachers and asking them about what you should be teaching. So that was very exciting for me, and I think it's also very exciting because what we are trying to do with, so at that Involve works with different students, right, and we're working in different cities. So what it is also very exciting because through the peer teaching thing, we are trying to develop that responsibility in students, that whole mindset that if I have been given something, I should take complete responsibility, and I should go out of my way to ensure that I am able to achieve the results or make an impact, right? Along with the other things which peer teaching helps to do, but that we'll talk about later on. I really wanted to start with the question on how did you feel initially when you were informed that you were teaching your juniors? Like, what thoughts came in your mind when you heard it for the first time? Were you interested in the starting itself, or was there something else which happened which made you interested in the program?
So I was very much interested from the starting itself because I have not teaching anyone. I
Mm-hmm.
have seen people teaching someone,
Mm-hmm.
so I was interested. I was thinking one day I should also try this. So that was opportunity for me to try that. So I was very interested.
Okay. So you said you wanted to teach students from the start itself.
Yeah.
And why were you so much interested in teaching students? Like, what about teaching made you so much interested?
My sister was taking tuitions here, so
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even understand what is the difficulty in it because
Okay.
she will tell there's so much difficult in it, you don't know anything about it. So I'm so eager about what are the difficult in it. That's the thing motivated me to join Involve. So
Okay.
I started taking classes.
When you actually stepped into the classroom and you saw that you are teaching in your school only, some of them were from your same class also, right? Like from same grade
Yeah.
also. So, I mean, when that happened, like, and when you got to know that I'm gonna teach my own schoolmates, and I'm gonna be teaching in my own school where my teachers will be seeing me, my principals will be seeing me. What all did you get scared that this is something I don't want to do, or were you more excited?
No, I was not scared at all because I already spoken in front of all. So I already they are very familiar to me. So that I had no scare
Mm-hmm.
between talking with them. And I
Mm-hmm.
also know some of my students from earlier itself. So I have already been friends with those class and I have met them. So that was not too scary for me.
So, how many students you were teaching at that point of time?
For
Four. And you were in grade 5, you were teaching four students. Two of them were from your own grade, right?
well, I teach you two different grades. The
Mm-hmm.
sixth grade had four peoples and the eighth grade had two peoples.
Mm-hmm.
Half an year I taught sixth, and half an year I teach the eighth grade,
So, what were you teaching them?
maths and science.
You said that you went to the teachers and you asked the teachers what you should be teaching to your students, right? So it is like taking complete responsibility that these are the students I'm supposed to teach, and I should be teaching them something which they really need. What made you do that?
They gave me a lesson plan, so according to the lesson plan, I taught them. The chapters were little too little further from the basics. So I was teaching them, they didn't understand even a single word.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, why I asked them why not understanding them, because they don't, we have already problem in our basics, so we
Mm-hmm.
can't understand this. That time I realized, okay, sure, I should take the basics, then only I can proceed it in this level.
Okay. Did they tell you on their own, or were they initially very shy telling you that they are weak in their basics?
They're very shy because they don't want to expose their weakness. They're
Mm-hmm.
thinking it, if I expose it, they everyone will teach me, everyone will treat me like a kid. I don't know this, they'll tease me. So I went and asked their class max ma'am. So
Mm-hmm.
she told me these are the students which are, they are weak in this parts.
Okay.
So she told me those, and it was little easy for me to take the class with
And,
them.
and when you went to that teacher to ask on your own that, why, what I should be teaching, what was the reaction of that teacher?
She was a little surprised at that time. She was asking, well, why are you asking, coming to and asking me? I
Uh-huh.
told them, Ma'am, I was teaching this chapter, but they didn't understand it.
Mm-hmm.
So if I come and ask you, you may have a solution because you have taught them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm in the same position of her. So
Mm-hmm.
I asked her, she already has the experience of teaching them.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked her, she told me, okay, I'll tell you. So these are the information she gave me, and it worked out for me.
Okay. And you said the students were very shy. So, like, a teacher has to be like a friend to their students, right? So, were you able to build that friendliness with them?
Yeah, I built it because I took the help of their friends
Mm-hmm.
because I already know some of them from that class.
Mm-hmm.
So I took help of them too. The classmates, all of them helped me, so I can be more friendly with them. They told me these are the things she shied off.
Okay.
So I should. They mostly were interested in sports. So speaking by the sports, they were becoming so friendly with me. So
Okay.
that's how I remove the shyness.
Can you give me some more examples apart from what else did you do? How else did you make them friendly with you?
So there will be like, I'll tell a topic. So you have to say what are your favorite things. Like that, I connected truth or dark game.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked them many truth questions. So they answered it. So that's the information I got to know.
Okay.
They like sports. They like food. They
Okay.
like chocolates.
Okay.
I understand all these things.
Okay.
And next day I started to work out sums like, if you're buying 5 chocolates and
Mm-hmm.
10 chocolates, what is the total amount of chocolate you got?
Okay.
So I started to explain like that. When it comes to word problems, like instead of using like those names, I started using their favorite cricketers and footballers' names
Okay.
so that they easily understood it. And next step, I name, if it is a sum. So
Mm-hmm.
I give to each one a number. So I asked them, if you are the 5 and she is the 6, when you plus both, what will the answer you will get?
Mm-hmm.
So by the practical things, they started understanding more than the theoretical. They
Okay.
were little they were little hesitant to speak with me at first. So I started all these things. They become friendly with me. I talked to them, their parents.
You
So
spoke to their
it
parents
become,
as well. Can you share
yeah.
one experience?
Boy was not coming to class regularly. She was like, my auto ma'am came, so I need to go now. I can't attend it. So I one day I saw his father. So I go and spoke to them. It's like, your child is not attending class. It's for their future, so it can help
Okay.
them. So
Okay.
I told them these are the benefits from this class. They told me, okay, I'll send my child from that because he is also poor in that part.
Mm-hmm.
He also told me some information that he's poor in that, he's poor in that.
Mm-hmm.
So this is how I convinced them.
So, okay, great. So, how was the overall experience? Like, you did a lot of things a teacher does. You taught them, you spoke to their parents like a teacher, and it's very courageous of you to do all of these on your own. So, in grade 10, you already have taught for 2 years. How was the overall experience doing this?
It was like, I gained a new knowledge. It's like
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm ready to communicate with a bunch of peoples. I know
Mm-hmm.
how to catch their attentions.
Mm-hmm.
I know how to teach in future also. I
Mm-hmm.
started to understand what are the problems faced by my teacher.
Okay.
So that was so exciting and
Mm-hmm.
knowledgeable for me.
Do you feel now that teaching is like a easier or a difficult job? And
It's easy when you understand your students, and
okay,
it's tough when you don't understand them.
my God, uh, such an insightful line. Okay, um, okay. And any other difficulties did you feel you faced when you were teaching? Like apart from your students being shy or they were not able to understand the concept, any other things you could think of which you like? Any other challenges you faced?
I can't control my anger, so I will even shout at a second for every one. I will shout like that.
Okay.
After getting into the class, I started developing my patience.
Uh-huh.
Started controlling my anger.
Mm-hmm.
I started to be kind. So
Mm-hmm.
these are the things.
So, what made you think that you should control anger because in your classroom?
Before when I started taking class, I was just practicing with my brother. So how am I going to teach next day? So I was practicing with my brother.
Mm-hmm.
I was keep on explaining. He doesn't even understand it. At a point, I shouted at him. He told me, "If you're gonna shout like this at your class, your
Mm-hmm.
student will not even obey a single word."
Okay.
So that time I realized, okay, we need to have patience. We need to get whole data of our students, so then only I can talk with them. If I shout at them, they won't even open my mouth. If a teacher shouts, I don't even have a dare to tell them this is my problem.
Okay.
So that point I realized, okay, if my teacher shout itself, I can't even open my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
If I shout, how will my students will open their
Mm-hmm.
mouth and tell me their problems? Then
Okay.
only I started, okay, we should not even get angry at them. We should be so patient to them.
How did you bring that patience? Like, did you do anything like when your students are not listening to you, you count backwards?
When my students are not obeying, I'll just start the game. So they, if I even tell the word game, they will start listening to me.
Okay.
I'll say, if you listen for it for 5 minutes, I will give you game.
Okay.
So this is was my strategy.
Like you spoke about, learning that you controlled your anger, you learned patience. I also wanted to understand a little more on that. How has these 2 years of teaching experience helped you?
It helped to build a communication skill, not fear of crowd. Stage fear has gone away,
Mm-hmm.
and controlling my anger, being polite and kind.
Mm-hmm.
And now I know what are my responsibilities, how to be responsible.
Mm-hmm.
These are all the abilities which growed up me through this
And
program.
do you see all of these abilities being utilized in other areas of your life, like at home or with
Yeah,
your friends? Uh,
yeah, it
where,
helped
where?
me more at my home and school.
So, can you give me some examples where you showed or where these things were utilized?
If my mom at least scold me for a thing which I had not done, I will even shout at her itself.
Mm-hmm.
My mom, dad, every one I have scolded. After getting to the involves, I'm explaining, okay, this is not my fault. It was done accidentally.
Mm-hmm.
So please forgive me. Don't shout at me and don't
Okay.
make me shout. Now
Okay.
I'm explaining situations and
Mm-hmm.
avoiding shouting.
And you also spoke about responsibility. So, any other place you are seeing that? You're seeing that responsibility being utilized.
Yeah. When at first, if I give a me a group, I don't even involve the group. I'll just finish everyone and say, okay, this is all. This work is finished. Just understand what I have done, and that's it. I'll just move on. That was
Mm-hmm.
I what I did initially in my school when they were giving group activities. I
Mm-hmm.
just finish off everything,
Mm-hmm.
and I told my friends, I have finished it. Understand yourself. That's it. I'll go off.
Okay.
And
Okay.
now I'm having responsibility. Okay, let's do this. You'll do that. So
Okay.
now I'm splitting into my groups and combining into my groups well.
Teamwork as well. Okay, great. So, and have your parents, like your maybe your mother or your father, have they seen or do they say that Sandhya has changed a lot or Sandhya is doing this now? Like, what kind of a feedback you get from them?
My brother started shouting, "Is this you?" because I even shouted at him for everything. But
Okay.
now he is shocking. What is this you? Because if he done a big mistake also, I'm just keeping calm and saying don't repeat it again.
Mm-hmm.
So he has already shocked. You're not beating or scolding, throwing anything at me.
Mm-hmm.
Just telling. I can't even believe my own eyes.
My
He
God.
started telling that. Then only I realized, okay, we have changed a little bit.
So good to hear that.
And my friends also told the same thing to me.
Mm-hmm. Coming back to your teaching, so you taught for 2 years. How did you actually get to know that your teaching is actually helping them? How did you get to know that?
First, when I was teaching in my school, when I was in 8th grade, my
Mm-hmm.
ma'am came and told me, "You're teaching this student, right? He has got this much mark. Before he wasn't this mark." So she told me like that. So that was the motivation. After whenever I take class, after that entire month, I calculate the stars. So comparing report of previous month and this month, I compared it. Then only I got to know, okay, they have developed in this. So
Mm-hmm.
I'll give them a sheet, and I'll tell the parents that I have given them a sheet. So this will be the I have given them some criteria. I have give them some sums, so they will work out it at the home. They will correct it by their self,
Mm-hmm.
and they will give stars for their self. Their
Okay.
parents will check it, and I will compare 2 months progress together. Then only I can say I came to know that they have developed with this. First, they were getting 3 stars, and now they're getting 4 stars, 5 stars.
These are very interesting things which a teacher can do. So, did you speak to your teachers to on what you can do? Like you came up with this star system, or did you research on your own, or did you just came up with these things just randomly?
I just came up with them with randomly because
Okay.
I a teacher I was when I was studying in second grade. There was a teacher who gave everyone a star, and he will calculate all the stars and give them a chocolate in the end of the month.
Okay.
So that motivated me. Okay, we can do this same thing. It will
Okay.
work again.
Okay.
So I used it, and it worked.
Did you give them a chocolate?
At the month end, I get them a whole day. I won't take a class. It will be a free day for them. If I
Okay.
conduct test at the month end, the highest star person won't have test
Won't have.
like that test. So escaping from the test, they started studying well. They were
Okay.
not knowing if I study well, I can easily do the test.
Uh huh.
They started studying well and they escaped from the test. But
Okay.
the end, I'll keep sure the test.
So how did you manage your time? How were you able to manage your time with because teaching also requires a lot of preparation before you actually go into the classes, right? So how were you managing your studies with this whole responsibility of teaching other students?
When I get the lesson plan, I'll prepare the entire week schedule on Sunday itself
Mm-hmm.
because I don't have time. I'll be running to tuition. I'll running to my classes. So I'll prepare when I'm free on Sundays. I'll
Mm-hmm.
prepare the schedule for entire week. So
Mm-hmm.
I'll be planned. These are the games we are going to conduct at each day. These are the agendas. These should be the portions I should complete in these days. So I'll just prepare it on Sunday and I'll execute it on the throughout the week. And
Mm-hmm.
it also goes according to my plan.
Wow. Okay. Great. So okay, a lot of things you have done actually in the last 2 years. I mean, I don't have any other further questions, but I just wanted to know if maybe other students of your age are hearing you, would you want to say anything to them?
The I want to convey them is Involve gives this is a platform I have never been in here because you can't get it anywhere else. So this is a new experience which I have never been before because as a student I can only learn at my class. I can't teach other students. So this is the thing I can do here. All my leaders were very supporting with me. My teachers, my students,
Mm-hmm.
all were supporting to me. So I lead in my class without fear.
Mhm.
So if they also understand their students and get help of their teachers, all those
Mhm.
officials, they can also be involved without any fear, and it's very easy and exciting also.
Okay, so good to hear that. Okay, thank you so much.